a new crime drama for ITV called The Bay, starring Morven Christie and Jonas Armstrong, formerly Robin Hood. Matt, do you want to talk us through this?
Before I go into it, I know I was talking to someone at work who said, "Has it been on before?" And I was like, "No, it's a new thing." I think it just was reminiscent of other dramas that have been on before. So set in Morecambe, pair of twins, teenagers go missing. Morven Christie's character is Di Lisa Armstrong, who's a family liaison officer, goes to sort of do her bit of the case, talk to the family, and eventually meets the twin stepdad, played by Jonas Armstrong, who she realises she had a bit of a, what's the word to put it, a bit of a, how's your father outside the club?
Yeah, that's a very contemporary way of putting it. Yes.
I know, yeah. As it goes on, she's trying to sort of cover up this indiscretion she had with this guy who she didn't know the identity of previously to the case. She's got 2 teenage children who might be embroiled in it more. And it's just going on. It's the investigation and things like that into what happened. And at the end of episode 1, the boy's body is found.
For me, this wasn't just another bog-standard crime drama. I did find it quite intriguing. I found the lead characters quite interesting. I thought, some of it's silly, Morven Christie hiding some of the CCTV from her boss because it shows her having a conversation with the stepdad who's now a suspect. So you've got to leave some, reality at the door. But actually, I thought this was one of the better crime dramas on ITV and certainly on British TV that I've seen for a while. But that might be more that I was shocked because I didn't think I'd enjoy it, and so I was surprised how much it took me by surprise. How did you feel, Ed?
Yeah, no, I turned up expecting it to be middle of the road, but I was impressed. ITV, I feel, are starting to pull out some better dramas of late. They're upping their game. So Liar, I think, was a really good turning point for ITV. Cheat, also, I think, because they stripped that caught people's imagination. But The Bay, I think it's an interesting premise. Just the basic thing of the fact that she slept with this guy, so she can't say anything, but he's at the centre of the case that she's dealing with. I think the characters are interesting. There's a lot going on. It's an intriguing plot, I think, is basically what makes it a great drama. By the end of the first episode, there was no doubt that I wanted to watch the rest of the series, which, as I said before, is quite a feat when someone's watching a lot of different first episodes. So yeah, I definitely want to see more. I think Morven Christie is a good actress. I think she's likable and interesting. Yeah, I think it could confirm ITV's place as somewhere that's producing good drama.
The characters didn't feel paint by numbers like you see in a lot of crime drama. They did feel like genuine people that this had happened to. I didn't mention Chanel Cresswell plays the missing twins' mother, and she's really compelling and interesting to watch.
Yes.
And you believe her, you're on her side from the off. And also Dan Ryan, who plays the boss, manages to do something with quite what we've seen that role done 1,000 times, but he manages to make it feel really authentic and genuine as well.
I agree with you. I expected it to be bog standard, but there was something about it. It was a really easy watch. I didn't find myself sort of wandering, looking at my phone and things like that. I was quite engrossed by it. I think the character of Lisa Armstrong is a bit different because she's a bit grittier. She's had this sort of indiscretion with this guy, and now she's trying to cover it up. She's good at her job, though, as well. And I think it's interesting it being a family liaison officer, because you don't really see that sort of process on screen. It's normally, just another copper. I think it had an extra element to it. I think the setting helped as well, although some people are obviously going to compare it to Broadchurch because of the beach and everything like that. Yeah. But I think they set up enough sort of suspects and things in the first episode. The only thing that sort of took me out of it a bit was the stuff with the kids. I wasn't really that intrigued by, I didn't really care much for her daughter, and all the stuff that was happening at the school. That might play into it as it goes on, but just for me at the moment, those scenes were the least interesting. But everything when Morven Christie was on screen, I felt very compelling. And as I say, if every episode is like this episode, then I'll be watching the whole series.
I really enjoyed the first episode a lot. I'm slightly concerned that it's going to turn into a pedestrian whodunit, where each episode someone looks really guilty and then actually it just turns out to be nothing. Whereas I much prefer a program like The Missing or Line of Duty, where everything that's happening in every episode has a bearing and will continue to progress and lead to something. Whereas in Broadchurch, especially the third series, I felt, someone would look guilty one episode, then the next episode would, it was nothing, and the next,
yeah.
and it's just that's just pointless. Everything that happens through the series should be important, not just a pointless diversion.
And should be moving the plot on as well, shouldn't it? Every episode.
Slightly worried Bay's going to be a bit like Broadchurch Series 3, where we just think that someone's guilty and they're not. Then it's them, they're not. I want the end. I want the whoever's done it to be revealed and be like, oh yeah, we should have seen that going along. I'm concerned about it, but I will watch it.
This, I feel, has got its roots also in Nordic noir. The sort of soundtrack is very sort of Bridge-esque and The Killing-esque, and I like the setting of Morecambe. But yeah, I'll be judging it on an episode by episode basis. But as we're just talking about this first one, I really did enjoy it, and perhaps I went in with lower expectations than I should have. But yeah, I think it's about time we championed something ITV was doing, and we've not done that a lot of late. It's rare for me to like something of theirs from the off, and this I really have. So I'll be watching that. That's on Wednesday nights on ITV.